Welcome, it's Trev the Rev, and I'm Mo Vicar. Chunga, my friends, welcome to the show. It's a minute to 6, so I'm just going to rubble on for a minute because I'm sure people haven't arrived to watch it. Rise, what's the show? Kachunga, it is 6 o'clock sharp. The live feed is about to begin. Welcome to the show. And today, like last week, when we had a fellow worker of mine asked me to talk about a specific subject, a subject of star chasers, and one of my other colleagues thought I was talking about the cosmos, the mind, the cosmos that exists out in the depth of space. And he thought I was talking about that and not about my comics that I'm writing, book that I'm writing. And as we asked, he actually said, "Did I talk about space? Did I talk about space?" So I said, "Yes." And then I discussed with him. I said to him, I spoke to him during the course of the week, and I said, what specific part about space did I like one talk about? That's one, not two, not three, but one to talk about. So he decided he wanted me to talk about the planets and life. Now, obviously, in the depths of space, as far as we know, there's no life. But as you know, and I know, there is life out there, but not in ways that most of humanity can expand to accept inside. And I'm talking to myself at the moment because there's still no one actually watching this show, apart from those that will watch this show later on. So if I say those benefits who haven't watched the show live for me, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's a brilliant show, it's a brilliant show. But if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to say, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Right. I'm going to start off with 2 jokes. That's 2. Now, I'm going to use these jokes, link them to the subject in hand. And because we're talking about planets and stuff, I got some jokes about planets. Now, before we start, I'm actually going to go, look, these jokes are so bad, I'm doing the tumbleweed right at the edge. Now, these jokes are bad. They are bad. I'm talking about, these jokes are so bad, they're almost Michael Jackson, honestly. So the first one, I have taken notes. You may see me go just to double check my notes as we go along. I do apologise if I do that. It's if any way I can do this thing properly with the notes and all that as. Right, let's start the show with the bad joke. Why did Sonic the Hedgehog go to Saturn? Because he wanted to go get the rings. You see, in Sonic the Hedgehog game, he collects rings. That's the, in case you didn't know. Most people do that. And how does NASA arrange parties? A planet. I know. That's atrocious. Look, double tumbleweed effect going on here. Double tumbleweed effect going on here. I know those jokes are atrocious, absolutely atrocious. Unfortunately, atrocious jokes are what I do best. Atrocious jokes are what one does best, honestly. honestly, I tell these churches jokes. I go to best. Yes, but um, but let's one start. Let's one start with our cosmic journey through our solar system, through one solar system, starting at it starts at beginning of our solar system, which is in the middle one though. And against what people think, Earth isn't at the center of our universe. It's not, it's not. The center of our universe is this great yellow mass of energy right in the middle, and we call it the sun. Yeah. One of my favourite jokes I like to ask people, I'll say to them, what's the name of our nearest star? Everyone goes, what's the name of that one? Georgie? No, it's not that one. Is it Ursa Minor? No, no, it's not that one. It's not that one. What is it? I can't think what it's called. It's our sun. Our sun is our nearest star, obviously. Centers of our Milky Way galaxy. It gives life right through our galaxy, our Milky Way galaxy. No, not our Milky Way galaxy. It's in our solar system. It gives life to our solar system. But as well as giving life, it does take it away as well. It's so destructive. I have heard that NASA are planning to do an expedition to the sun. They're going at night. Yeah. Now, the original name, the origin name for the sun, believe it or not, isn't sun. The actual original name comes from Old English, and it's one of the few um, objects, apart from one planet, that name doesn't come from Roman or Greek mythological gods and all that lot. It's called. I find this hard to pronounce. I do find this hard to pronounce. Its original name is Soon. That's Sunne. Soon. It does have a Latin name because the Greeks decided they had to call it a different name, and they called it Sol, which is where solar power comes from. Solar. Extra bit of information. Another bit of information for you. It's a D-type. Now I'm looking at the notes I'm saying here. This is a technical bit of information. That's what I'm about to give. Yes, it's a G-type main sequence star. Then this type covers 99.86% of the mass of our solar system. That's basically saying sun right out to Pluto. All these kids, and welcome to the show. Someone's come to the show. Well, Chris, mate, how you doing? Because I thought I'd make myself look really, really intelligent and speak like this, like most professors do. I could talk common as much as well, like anybody who works with me, not a problem. So yes, the sun. The sun. Its original name is Sun, not sun. In Latin, it's Sol, hence where I've been on something since the day I was born, Chris. Yeah, so it's a G-type main sequence star, and it covers 99.86% of our solar system. Basically, it covers from the sun right out to Pluto. That's how far its energy goes. It may peter out as far as it goes to Pluto, I should imagine, but that shows you how much powerful. Oh, you knob, how long have you been in live? Oh, don't call me a knob. That's not very nice, is it, Chris? Oh, I thought you meant I belong something. I've just started, mate. 8 minutes in, I've just started. So, welcome to the show. I've done the bad jokes already. I could do them for you again if you'd like. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Why did Sonic go to Saturn? Collect the rings. and, no jokes. Okay. Well, I just did one, so no jokes. Okay, I'll go back to my serious formation, my serious talk. And yeah, so it covers all the energy from the sun, expands right out all the way to Pluto, and that shows you the power of this star, of the star. And as we leave the star on our on a cosmic journey that we're on, go through on the Milky Way galaxy, the first planet we'll come across is actually one of the smallest. And we're talking about Mercury. Now, Mercury is named after the Greek messenger Mercury, not the liquid metal. Although, I can understand people thinking that. I can understand people thinking that. Its orbit is 87.97 Earth days. So its orbit, although it has the smallest orbit and it's the quickest orbit of all the planets, there's not a lot of difference between, in cosmic terms. Um, it's the closest planet to the sun. Oh, its existence has been known since ancient times. This is how well known Mercury is. Long time. Space end. Current theories that I've read about, space does not end. They can't. There is, I would say, amongst the galaxies that are out there, Chris, amongst the billions of galaxies, there is something I believe is called something like void space, dark matter, where it's in between the galaxies and stuff. But does space end? My knowledge, no, it doesn't. It just goes on and on and on and on. I like to think that, like, if you're a rocket going through space like this, flying through space, and you go from one end to the other end, and as you're going along, eventually you'll disappear off the camera and come in back on this side again. It's like, to me, that's what space does. It doesn't end. It's just a eternal loop. I hope that answers your question. Maybe think, Chris. You maybe think coming out with that. Its surface, Mercury's surface, closely resembles the moon, and it's one of the very few planets that have no moons at all. I don't believe Venus has one, but I'll be getting to Venus in a minute. I didn't put down if Venus has moons or not, but I don't believe they do. I don't believe they do. Wrong. Next planet we're going to come across, the black hole. That was a film done by Disney in the late 70s, early 70s on the strength of Star Wars. But no, the proper question to a black hole, it's a energetic void in space that sucks in. The gravity of a black hole is so strong, not even light can escape a black hole. It just sucks everything in. And theory is, a black hole has two ends: the end that goes in and the end that comes out. Maybe you have a black hole on one side and a white hole on the other, because a white hole is very similar to a black hole, whereas black sucks it in, white shoots it out. Does that answer your question, Chris? I hope that answers your question. So the next planet we're coming along in our little cosmic journey as we're going along here is Venus. Now, Venus is named after Roman goddess of love. And for something that's named after someone of love, of beauty, it's amazing how horrible and destructive the planet is. It's nicknamed her sister with a temper. Imagine a lady who hasn't had a cup of coffee in the morning. To me, that's like a version of Venus. This is how hospitable Venus is until it's had its coffee in the morning. It rained acid downwards. Its orbit, it orbits the sun. It's 225 Earth days to do an orbit, and also rotates off the axis. Did I say that wrong? No, it rotates on the axis. I've got the information wrong. I apologise. Venus rotates on its axis like Earth does. It rotates it in a way. So rather than that way, for example, it goes that way. To a point where it spins from east to west, not west to east. So therefore, the sun would rise in the west and set in the east. Whereas over here, in our little world, it rises in the east and sets in the west. Um, has a very slow rotation, though. Venus has a very, very slow rotation. One rotation for Venus is 117 days on our planet. That is very, very slow. Very slow. Um, that's Earth days. And don't forget, if I get this right, is it one of our rotations is 1 day? I think that's correct. So that tells you how slow the orbiting of Venus is. Um, imagine having to work on Venus. Working for a day that's 117 days long. God, working is bad enough, let alone working on Venus. God. Right, the next one is our cosmic journey through this our solar system is Earth, our planet. Now, it's the only planet in our solar system not to be named after a god. Um, well, we call Roman god anyway. It was. It would have been named because apparently the Romans and the Greeks wanted to name it, but we'd already called it known. So they thought of names for it in their language and their way to go around. And Romans wanted to call it Hellas, which means Rome in what we call it means fertile soil. The Greeks wanted to call it Gaia, or Gaia. Now it's been called Gaia, and you know, Gaia's called the spirit of the earth. Mother Earth. That is something that it's been called anyway. The name actually comes from Earth. Yeah, the actual name Earth, believe it or not, comes from Old English, and it has German roots in the name as well. There's something for you. What I was trying to find, I was trying to actually find out, and I couldn't. And there's a question for the day. I was actually trying to find out who actually named Earth Earth, because I can imagine people in the past going, what do we? So my question is, at what point do we actually name the Earth Earth? Now it's Old English, so maybe someone in England decided to go, I know, let's call this planet Earth. I wonder who. I wonder when. Interesting thought. Interesting thought, don't you know? Yes, interesting thought. Now, this cosmic journey we're taking continues past our home planet. Towing past our planet, so our destructive wizardism doesn't make things worse for the planet, you know. And as we shoot past our planet and start going out further out, we come to the planet Mars, named after the Roman god of war. Yes. Although apparently they did want to call it in ancient times, or when it was discovered, and they wanted to give it a name. The other name that came up was Ares, who's also the god of war. I believe Mars is I could be wrong. I think Mars is the Greek god of war, and Ares is the Roman god of war. Or it could be the other way around. I know Ares' brother is Hercules, and Hercules is Greek. So there you go. The Greeks wanted to call it Ares, but no, for some reason they settled on Mars, and there you go. Mars's orbit is 686 Earth days. So that's basically 2 of our years is one of its orbits, which is a year. So Mars's day is basically 2 of our years. So that's a long orbit. Obviously, we're getting past our eyes, you see. The further you go away from the sun, the longer these orbits are going to take. Now, here's a bit of trivia for you. Trivia. Let me go back in my intellectual professor mode, and we can talk about my trivia about Mars. Now, Mars has 2 moons, it does, and the moons are called Phobos and Deimos. I might have mispronounced Deimos, but it's Phobos and Deimos. Now, Phobos translates into the ancient Greek language, I presume it's Greek, and it means fear. Fear. And Deimos represents panic. So you've got two moons of Mars. I suppose it does make sense when you consider Mars is the god of war, but the moons is fear and panic. So you've got war, fear, and panic. Makes sense. There's another planet coming up that has a similar thing. I'll go into that when we get there. It's the only. Here's another. Sorry, we did trivia mode. Trivia mode. At this time, as I speak, what we know, Mars is the only planet at the moment inhabited solely by robots. Hey, here's a fact for you. Mars is the only planet at this moment in time solely inhabited by robots. Because we can't go there yet, but we will be there soon. We'll be like living on the planet in the years to come. Personally, I think the NASA program's almost there already, let alone almost there. Yeah, almost. So that's Mars. Now our journey goes on. Our journey continues. And we leave Mars in the background. And we go through this little asteroid belt. You see, again, this is only rumour. It's never been proven, but this is just theoretical rumour I'm going into now. In between Mars and the next planetary specks, there's a massive asteroid belt. And the professors who do the studying of the solar system and all this jazz, they said there should have been a planet between Mars and the next planet. But there's not one there. But all it is an asteroid belt. And the theories is, because you may not realise this, but Mars is not on its axis; it's like off the axis, spinning around. In Mars's path is actually very, was very like a planet like we are. Something happened to it to knock it off its destiny, and actually makes sense with the God of War as well. I suppose that makes sense, and it does make sense. But something hit it. And basically, we think there used to be a small planet in between Mars and the next one along. I'll name that one in a minute. And it collided with Mars, and enough to shatter the planet, but also enough to screw up Mars's orbit as well. Shame. It's shame. We could have had neighbours next door to us. One of the thoughts was life was on Mars, and they actually live underground now. Again, that's never been proven. It's never been proven, not yet anyway. So we leave Mars and we go through this asteroid belt. I believe they've actually named the planet that was once there called Astra, Astra. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure I'll be told if I am. So we leave Mars and we go through this little rocky asteroid belt, and we arrive at King of the planets. And I'm talking about Jupiter. And it's named King of the Planets because it's the biggest planet in our solar system, in our little solar system of ours. It's named after the king of the gods. The king of the gods. Jupiter is the Roman king of the gods. His counterpart is also Zeus. The Greeks wanted to call it the planet Zeus. But amazingly, this does sound better. It does sound better. Its orbit is 12 Earth years. 12 of our years is one orbit of Jupiter. That's how far this thing is out. It also acts as our shield. A lot of the meteorites and comets that would hit us actually hits Jupiter. It acts as a big shield, and it's one of the things that stops Earth from being buggered up by all these floating rocks and stuff. Another bit of trivia for you there. Didn't know that, did you? Didn't know that? Didn't know that? Its atmosphere spins at a various rate. You see, Jupiter is what's known as a gas giant. It isn't solid like the Earth. The bulk of the planet itself is all gas. That's why his atmosphere spins, I suppose, spins at different rates. It actually had a ring system, not a massive one like the next one along, but it does have a ring system to it. It has over 60 moons. Last count, Jupiter has 60 moons. Imagine how, and some of these moons are just, I suppose, asteroids that come in and been attracted to the gravity of the planet and become the part of the moon, the moon, the moon, the moon, the moon. And just to name some its famous ones, it has four massive moons, four of the biggest moons it has. And these are Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Those are the four biggest moons that orbit Jupiter. So the rest of them weren't big enough to name, I suppose. I'm sure they got names, but they were the four the most common ones that I wrote down at the time. And we're back. The next planet on our solar journey, our solar cosmic journey, is Saturn. Now, Saturn is actually named, I didn't know this. Again, I had to really look in to find out why Saturn is called Saturn. I knew it was God's name, but it's named after the Roman god of agriculture. Can't speak now. Agriculture. In Greek, it's called Kronos. So, like other planets and stuff, different people call it different names. I'm sure other races give it different names as well, but it's only the Roman and Greeks, the ones that come up all the time. It's a gas giant as well. It's a gas giant. Now, here's a bit of fact. Go back into my trivia. Go back into my professor trivia mode. Now, do you know Saturn is so light? I mean, light as in weight, not as in. I know it floats in space and all this jazz. Saturn is so light that if you got a bowl of water big enough, and I'm talking about a humongous bowl, a massive bowl of water that you could put the planet into, it would float in the water. And that's how light Saturn is. Saturn's a very, very light planet itself. It could float in water if you got a bowl of water big enough and the water didn't freeze in the depth of space. It would float. It has a massive, massive ring system. Massive ring system. Officially, it was discovered by Galileo, and it has orbits. Takes 29 Earth years to orbit. So we are going quite out. So these planet orbits are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how long it takes Saturn to orbit the Sun. Wow, 29.4 years. Wow. 10 and a half to spin on its axis. That's 10 and a half years. No, that's wrong. I apologise. It takes 10 and a half of our Earth days Saturn to spin on its axis. There, I've got it right now. Look, I've got the information right. And we got, yeah, its interior of the planet Saturn moves at a different rate than the cloud that surrounds Saturn. You see? So you got the Earth going, and the clouds going. So that's no unusual fact about Saturn. It has 62 moons, but the most common moon of Saturn is called Titan. Titan, yes. And the Titan, believe it or not, its moon Titan is bigger than the planet Mercury. So that's a big planet. That's a big moon, rather. Just think of Endor surrounding the sun, its star in Star Wars. So that's sort of Titan's supposed to be like. As you go further out, and we go past Saturn, and we go on this journey of ours, you come across what most people call the joke of our solar system, because they called it Uranus. Yes, but most people think may take the mickey by calling it Uranus. But no, the actual planet is called Uranus. And it was discovered by William Herschel in 1781. Now, they wanted to call it the planet Herschel, believe it or not, but they stuck on Uranus. And I didn't actually look to see what the name Uranus means in the godwise. I missed that one out. Ooh. Oh, I apologise for that. I apologise. It originally was thought it was a gas giant, Uranus, but it's now known as an ice giant. Hence, it's not gas; it's virtual ice. Well, I did look up the god's name. I did. I thought I did. Yeah. The name comes from the Greek god, grandfather of Zeus. So Zeus's grandfather is called Uranus, and it translates into the greatest of all gods. Wow, what a title! It takes 84 Earth years to orbit the sun. 84 years. What that means? That means when I was born, when I'm 84, it's done one orbit. That's a humongous year. God, and the axis of the planet is actually on its side at 97 degrees. Again, it's been theorized, it can't be proven. I reckon it was hit and knocked the planet off the axis. And there you go. We're continuing our journey through ours. And for those who've just come in, we're doing a journey through our planetary solar system. We've gone through lots of the planets. I haven't got time to do a massive planet by planet, so I'm just doing a brief description of the planets and telling you what they are. You know. Now, the next planet they come to is Neptune, and it's named after the Roman god of the sea. I knew that only looking it up. It's one of the few ones I do know. Believe it or not, it was the first planet to be mathematically proven to exist. But it wasn't officially discovered until 1846 by Johann Gottfried Galle. Now, it takes 165 Earth years to orbit the sun. Ooh, these get worse, don't they? They get worse. Its orbit is elliptical. Now you're asking me, what does elliptical mean? Elliptical. Now, most people know that when a planet orbits the sun, it's basically a circle because the gravity of the sun keeps that planet in a nice straightforward circle orbit. Right. I often thought, why don't planets orbit like that? Or orbit like that? Why always like that? I suppose it's got something to do with gravity, I suppose. Anyway, elliptical orbit. Now, rather than orbiting like that, like most suns do, elliptical is more like that. If you're talking, right? It's a thinner circle, but it has longer orbits, and because of it, it's often at some points goes outside of Pluto's orbit. So we always say Pluto is the furthest planet out, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's Neptune. There you go. I also like to think of Neptune as the richest planet in the solar system. Do you know why I like to call Neptune the richest planet in the solar system? Because it's the only planet in our solar system that rains diamonds. Yes, it rains diamonds on the planet Neptune. I think that's amazing. So if you ever want to get a diamond ring for your missus for a wedding anniversary, just get a spacecraft, fly all the way out to Neptune, and you can get crystals, diamond crystals there for free. Let's bring them back. The fact that you might not just survive the journey because of the distance of space is beside the point. You'd save some money, wouldn't you? Yeah. We've almost arrived. We've almost arrived at the end of our journey. At the end of the journey. Yes, we have. And you might not be anyone. Why whispering? Perfect. Me. Yes. We now arrive at the last planet of the our own Milky Way. And the Milky Way is called Pluto. Now, I always called Pluto the Shakespearean planet. Why? Because the question goes out: planet or not a planet? That is the question. At current moment in time, it's called a dwarf planet. But it's always been argued: do we call a planet or do we not? It meets the things. It meets the all the strokes. We call it a planet. The problem is it's so small that they want to call it a dwarf planet or a planetoid. So it's always been argued over what is it? Is it a planet? So for this conversation, I'm assuming at the present moment it's called a planet. I'm happy with a dwarf planet, but planet. Now, Pluto was the lord. He's the lord of the underworld. And when I was looking up the moons and stuff, I didn't realise how connected they're actually clever. They have to put these names together, just like they did with Mars and its two moons. The moons that go with Pluto have its own names for a reason. Um, Orbits in the Kuiper Belt. Now you're asking me, what's the Kuiper Belt? No, it's not something that planets wear to keep the trousers up. The Kuiper Belt is a rocky mass, just like the asteroid belt in between Jupiter and Mars, but it's just outside, just on the tip of our I keep saying Milky Way. It's not our Milky Way galaxy, because the Milky Way galaxy is even more immense. We're just on the tip of the Milky Way galaxy. Of our solar system, the Kuiper Belt are right on the outer fringes, and that's where Pluto exists. That's how far out this planet is. It has 4 moons. That's one of the things about a planet's supposed to be called a planet because it has to have moons. Then why is Mercury called a planet? Because Mercury doesn't have moons. The 4 moons are called Styx, Nix, Kerberos, and Hydra. Now, you may think they're weird names for planets, weird names for planets. I completely agree with you there. They are weird names for planets. But then you look into it and you find why they call that. Because Styx is the river that the dead souls cross to go to Hades. And who ruled Hades? Pluto. So it makes sense. Nyx is the Greek goddess of darkness. And Pluto is so far out, it is virtually darkness out there. And I don't mean the group sung that stupid song, I can't think of what it's called at the moment. I think of the Night, no, I don't know. There was a group called the Darkness, I can't think what they're called. The next one is called Kerberos. Now, its alternate spelling, Cerberus, who was a hound. He was the hound, the hound of hell, the hound of Hades. And I believe Cedros had 3 heads. Cerberus had 3 heads. I could be wrong there, but I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. And the last but not least, you got Hydra, and Hydra is a multi-headed serpent. There you have it. You have moons that are named for a reason, for the connection to Hades and Pluto itself, who's the Lord of Hades. And there we go. That is our journey through the solar system. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this show. I know it's not as entertaining and as manic as most of my videos. This is because I'll be able to concentrate on something, and I can just talk to the screen with no one talking to me back, which is quite an interesting sensation. I actually do prefer it when they're talking to me back, you see, because it gets a bit manic when you start doing that. It's a bit manic. And yes, space stuff is a particular subject. Yes, I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you've enjoyed our journey through our solar system. From the Sun, to Mercury, to Venus, to Earth, to Mars, to the asteroid belt, to Jupiter, to Saturn, to Uranus, not Uranus, Uranus, to Neptune, and finally to Pluto. I hope you've enjoyed the trip. And if you've enjoyed the show, advance warning, the technical Hebrew of this show is about to go manic. Okay? You ready? Are you? If you've enjoyed the show, please hit that like button. It may not seem like much, but it's interesting to see how many people actually like the show. And if you haven't already, and you want to see other videos as they come out, subscribe to my channel, please. I welcome anyone to watch my videos. I love people to, I don't do this as a way of making money. I do this because I like to entertain. And it's something that I find hard to do. And this is one way for me to do so. So, yes, hit the like and smash that subscribe button. And if you want to know when the videos are coming out, yes, it's coming. It's coming. Coming. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. A ding dong. A ding a ling a ling. And what you can also do is spread the news of this video. Spread the news of this video is tell your friends about it so they can watch the show. They might think it's really cool to listen how it goes. Yes, please hit the like button, subscribe, ring that bell, and honestly, tell your friends about the show. All three people watch the show, the best the show can get. And on that note, I will say farewell. Chunga, my friends, until this coming Saturday, when we'll be talking about. Bye bye.